A lot of people have been asking where I get all my vinyl, and of course I really love to shop in a store in person if at all possible, but sometimes that certain album you want is online at a certain store and it's just way easier to get. So here are some of my favorite places to get vinyl online. A lot of this depends on what I personally am interested in and where I'm located at in the world. Most of these will be places that sell new vinyl because there's not a whole lot of places online, not a whole lot of shops at least, that sell used vinyl. I'll just kind of name each one, kind of tell you what they specialize in and why I like them. First up we have Discogs. Now Discogs is an amazing database for vinyl. I'll probably make a separate video on it later, but Discogs is just my go-to when looking for records online. Even if I don't buy from them every single time, I can find the exact pressing I want, how many of them are made, what makes it special, the run-out grooves, everything. Each specific pressing of an album has its own page on Discogs, and it'll tell you in the little other notes section what makes it special. Maybe it's splattered vinyl, or marbled vinyl, or translucent, or 180 gram, 200 gram, whatever. It'll also tell you when it last sold, the lowest price it sold for, the median price, and the highest price. It's a perfect way to get your hands on a specific copy of an album if you know exactly what you're looking for. Now next up we have Amoeba. In addition to probably being the greatest record store in the US, or at least one of the top 10, they also have a pretty great online shop. They have both new and used vinyl and separate categories for stuff like picture discs, autograph copies, colored vinyl, and all that stuff. Also, if you're in the States, shipping is free. Third and often overlooked one is the record label or artist's website. Now this is a bit broad, but I feel like it's usually overlooked. If you think about it, they're going to get the album first, and oftentimes they'll have a pre-order kind of thing available. They might have stuff like, signed limited edition copies or box sets with outtakes and maybe colored vinyl and certain variants that might be exclusive to their online stores. If there's a new album coming out that you're really looking forward to getting, I highly encourage you to go to the record label and the artist's website, check out their store, and see if there is a certain variant that's only available on there. Fourth on the list is eBay. eBay can be complete hit or miss. Shipping is usually about $3 to $5, so keep that in mind when you are looking at buying an album that might only cost $1. Because it'll end up costing you, $4, $5, $6. Much like Discogs, eBay is an open marketplace where anyone can sell anything, so there's plenty of varying results in each search. You'll find different pressings in different stages of wear, and sometimes you can get some of them for a pretty good deal. Alright, next up we have Newberry Comics. Newberry Comics is an online store that has a ton of exclusives. From soundtracks to hip-hop to Rocky Erickson to Willie Nelson, they have just about everything, and they probably have it in a pretty rad colorway. They have specific categories for stuff like box sets, singles, pre-orders, record store day exclusives, etc. So their website is super easy to navigate through. Sixth on the list is Turntable Lab. This is yet another store that has a bunch of limited edition albums in certain colorways. They also have a massive selection of audiophile gear and accessories. Seventh on my list is Mondo. They specialize in movie soundtracks from old to new, both obscure and popular. There's soundtracks from horror and sci-fi movies like Alien, action movies like Atomic Blonde, and nostalgic movies like Back to the Future Part 2. They even have tons of soundtracks from old horror movies that I've never even heard of. Eighth on my list is Vinyl Me Please. While I'm not a member of their club, Vinyl Me Please has a bunch of exclusives to non-members, and even more exclusives if you're a member of their club. They reissue and release both popular and obscure albums in some awesome colorways. Alright, in ninth we have InSound. Now I just discovered this website the other day and finally placed an order today. They have a bunch of albums and they're all priced extremely well. I think their colored vinyl is 40% off at all times. So I ordered some of that and I'm really looking forward to getting my albums in the mail in the upcoming week. Speaking of getting albums in the mail, in 10th we have Records by Mail. This is an online store for used vinyl. They specialize in older rock music, funk, and blues, and they have an extensive collection of rarities. A lot of the artists on the site I've never even heard of, but a lot of them that I do know about, I can tell that the albums they have on this site and the singles are rare. Alright, here's just some kind of random ones. Barnes & Noble. They have a pretty good amount of exclusive vinyl, and they also have autographed copies on their website. I hate to say it, but Urban Outfitters does have some exclusives as well. Don't really like to say that, but... I Am 8-Bit. If you like video game soundtracks, this is kind of the place to go. They have a bunch of video game soundtracks on vinyl. They also have some movie soundtracks as well. And they're usually released on some pretty limited edition, pretty sweet colorways too.